Hello everyone, good evening. So, it's been a little bit since we had done Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We started on Case 3 a couple weeks back. I wanted to come back to it while most of the details are still fresh in my head. So, we are revisiting... Edgeworth is revisiting another case from his past. Well, more specifically, the last case his father did, the unsolved murder that happened in this building. And now we have seen an attempted murder take place of one of the witnesses from said case. So there is definitely some kind of connection, and we are going to set out to determine what that connection is. April 2nd, 12:05 p.m. She said it would only be a 10-minute recess. They sure are taking an awfully long time. Sorry to keep you waiting. Okay. Prosecutor DeBest presents Ms. Delicia Scones. You see, you called, so here I am. It is I, Delicia Scones, the pharmacist who makes delicious drugs. Delicious? But you can call me Miss Delicious. And you still think you're some kind of cook, don't you? And you can call me Mr. DeBestest. Oi, nice to meet you, bestie. They've gotten straight to nicknames. Huh? That boy reminds me of someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory's son. Yesy, nice to meet you, Miley. Miley? Could you please not call me Miley? Meeting Greggy's boy. Guess it's a sign I'm getting old. How old is this woman? Sebastian, isn't there something you'd like to ask Miss Pharmacist? Oh, right, yeah. Miss Delicious, could you tell us the reason why you came to the gallery? Yesy. I came to see the curator, Katie. I've been friends with her for 18 years, so I visit her quite often. Is it true, Miss Pharmacist, that you also assisted in the treatment of Mr. Gustavia? I guess you could say that, although I only made the antidote for the doctor. Wow, you made the antidote on the spot? Yesy. As long as I have the right ingredients, I can make any drug easily. The infirmary here is well equipped, you see. Instead of sending him to the hospital in critical condition, we treated him right away. I did all I could do, the rest depends on his body's ability to recover. Do you know the victim, Ms. Delicious? Yesy. Although it's been 18 years since I last saw him. I only knew he'd become a world-famous pastry chef. Is the victim that famous? I heard on the news that he won a competition for designing desserts. Designing desserts, huh? That reminds me, I do remember him mentioning something about studying design in St. Fa. Now, let's get down to business, Ms. Pharmacist. Are you familiar with the drug Megatoxin X? Yesy, it's the drug that's used to kill those things. It's mega effective. Those things? Because the effect is so potent, it's not available to the general public. What are those things you're referring to? It's a drug for vanquishing the creatures that strike fear into the heart of a lady. The ones that often infest kitchens and the like. Okay, mice, rats. and such. Ah, I think I know what she's talking about. So it's normally used as a pesticide. So, Miss Pharmacist, may I ask you one more thing? Do you know what happens when you mix normalium with fatalium? Yes, I know. It's even written on the warning label for Megatoxin X. Hazardous when mixed. When the two drugs are mixed together, a chemical reaction occurs and a gas is released. Inhaling a large amount of the gas can cause breathing difficulties, and even death. From the amount of poison gas Gusty breathed in, I think there was probably at least 500 milliliters of each chemical in the gas. As expected of a pharmacist, she's very well informed. Normalium's an adhesive liquid that becomes hot as soon as heat is applied. It also has a red color and a minty fragrance. Due to its low cost, it's used everywhere. Fatalium is a white, watery liquid. That's enough for now. As expected of a pharmacist, you're very knowledgeable. Yes, of course I am. Megatoxin X is one of the chemicals that the company I work for produces. But not just anyone has access to it. It's so potent as a poison it couldn't be sold to the public after all. Thank you. I think that's all I need to hear. Does Judge Courtney suspect her? What is she hiding behind that smile? Oh, Flatfoot. Have you made progress in the investigation or something? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, what's he got? The glass cases that contain the sculptures can be opened by a mechanism in the lid. What strange cases. The temperature in the cases can be lowered down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The inside of the Pisces case was set to at 27 degrees, so my hand nearly got stuck to the ice. Probably the same temperature as the room because the lid is removed. Good thing it didn't. So then, from the lid of the Pisces case, we detected slight traces of normalium. Not bad. Huh? If the normalium was in a glass case at a temperature of 27 degrees, then it would have been frozen to the lid. Frozen to the lid, huh? Really? So, what happened? Mr. DeBest, why don't we try borrowing the power of Kay's little thief? I think the circumstances will be easier to understand if we use our Mr. Thief. So you really want to help me out that much? Fine. I'm not really sure how this all works, but you, get on with it. I hate being bossed around by this guy, but to arrive at the truth, I'll do it. Elvaru! Huh? Stop acting as you please. The goddess of law has no need of your power. Don't be such a stick in the mud, Courtney Pie. We have approval of the prosecutor in charge, so what's the problem? Could it be there's something that the PIC doesn't want us to find out? That's none of your concern. If you insist on participating in the investigation, then let me check if you're qualified by asking you a question. What's she planning? Who set off the poison gas? If you can answer me that, I'll allow you to work with us. Well then, Miles, the person who opened the Pisces case and set off the gas, think about the circumstances, there's only one person it could have been. Yes, considering the circumstances, it's clear who it was. So please, give me your answer. Who set off the poison gas? I mean, he was the only one in the room, presumably. And I'm starting to see whoever... Somebody set up a trap for him, apparently. So that he would... And they rigged it so he would have inadvertently set it off.
Take that!
There was no one in the Autumn Palace other than the victim, Dame Gustavia. It's hard to believe it could have been anyone but him. It seems that way. Very well. I'll allow you to participate this time. However, if I feel you're a hindrance, I will have to ask you to leave. Understood. But what I don't understand is why the victim opened that case. So, Mr. Edgeworth, what shall I recreate? Based on the information we've gathered so far, let's recreate the scene before the gas. Got it. Ugh, don't scare me like that! So, this is the true power of Sir Thief. Let's investigate the Pisces sculpture post-haste. There's frozen normalium on the lid of the Pisces sculpture's glass case. It's frozen so thick you can't even open the lid. On the actual glass case, the lid was heavily cracked. It was like someone headed out for the Pisces sculpture, sir. Do you have any idea how it came to be cracked like this? Well, the damage didn't seem to have come from outside the glass case, sir. I see, so the inside of the case was below freezing point. In the case, it developed cracks. There are no signs of external damage. From this we can deduce... Below freezing? Like Mr. Edgeworth's cold stare. And cracked, like Mr. Edgeworth's furrowed brow. Thermal fracturing. The cold glass case was heated from the outside, causing it to crack. But why did thermal fracturing occur here, and what caused it? Inside the thermally fractured glass case, there was frozen normalium. So whatever heated it caused the normalium to melt. Oh, that face means you probably thought of something, Miles. Which is what caused the, what Larry thought looked like bloody tears. And probably caused it to mix with the, fatalium, which was probably on the bottom of the case. Indeed I have. I know how Mr. Gustavia was able to open the glass case. What? How can you possibly know something I don't? I say the things he does know are in the minority. Hey, aren't you going to let me know? How did Dame Gustavia open the glass case? With heat.
Take that!
gas burner that was found in the Autumn Palace. Showed signs of recent use. I believe this was the cause of the thermal fracturing in the Pisces sculpture's glass case. A gas burner? Why would he use something like that? Ah, I got it. The lid was frozen shut, so he had to use the burner to melt the ice. Indeed, that is correct. Yeah, I just had a late start. I'm still the best, you know. Uh-huh. Late start. You didn't even understand a single thing, did you? Well, that's just because Mr. Edgeworth's explanation was too hard to follow. Cannon, Draco. Okay, why don't you update the little thief so he can understand it? If you say so. Right, let's restart the recreation. The victim, Dame Gustavia, was the only one to enter the Autumn Palace. If you used the gas burner then, the normality in the glass case would have melted. And then... Right. The melted normalium would have come into contact with the fatalium inside the case. And produced the poison gas. The moment Mr. Gustavia opened the lid, he would have begun to inhale the gas. He managed to drag himself out to the fountain patio just before his strength ran out. So he inhaled the gas when he opened the lid. It seems he finally understands. But why did Mr. Gustavia open the glass case of the Pisces sculpture? That's a good question. Victim's goal, that I do not yet know. Perhaps he had the same reason as Uncle Ray. Maybe he actually came to see the Winter Palace, not the Autumn one. Uncle Ray also thought that this was the Winter Palace at first. Oi, you too, Ray Ray. Actually, I thought so too. It looks just like Icy's room from 18 years ago. It's even got the exact same plants in front of the door. It seems everyone involved with the IS-7 incident made the same mistake. It's imperative that we investigate the real Winter Palace immediately. I should suggest that to Mr. DeBest. I get it now. Yeah, that's how it was. Huh? Did you think of something? The victim committed suicide! Are you... What? Why would he... He thought he would look refined if he died in an art gallery. Why would he go through this convoluted scheme, though? Have you even been listening? Well, if you're as smart as me, just hearing half the story will be enough. Oh, God. Courtney, please disbar this idiot. Sebastian, I'll explain it from the top later. Top? That means best, right? Alright, I'll leave it to you. Just shaking my head right now. Yes, it would indeed be best to let Judge Courtney handle him. That aside, don't you have some information to inform everyone of? Ah, I totally forgot. What are you talking about? We did a little checking on that pharmacist. We, meaning me, the best prosecutor's subordinate. That's not something to brag about. Shut up, you! Quiet down and listen. Suicide is, off the table for now, yeah. You were the one who just brought it up. That's because, in short, that pharmacist is the culprit. She set up the gas as a trap. No! It's a terrible shame, Miss Pharmacist. She's the most likely one who would have had access to the Fatalium, that's true. How could one in the profession of saving lives stoop to extinguishing them? Huh? What are you saying? I would never do such a thing! Mr. The Best, do you have a basis for those accusations? Of course, this is my basis. Her pharmacist license. It would permit her to handle Megatoxin X, right? And its active ingredient, Fatalium, was one of the components of the poison gas. Exactly. That chemical is almost impossible for ordinary people to obtain. But that pharmacist is another story altogether. It wasn't me. You got it all wrong. Objection! And that's not all. A bottle of Megatoxin X was found in the victim's pocket. The victim's? And on the bottle we found clear fingerprints. Yours. Oh. You and the curator took the victim to the infirmary, right? That would have given you the perfect opportunity to plant the bottle on him. That's... But... You are the only pharmacist on the premises who could have handled Megatoxin X. Furthermore, as for the curator of this art gallery, you're an acquaintance of hers. You would have had access to the gallery at any time, in order to prepare the poison gas trap. Please, wait! That Megatoxin X, it was stolen! Trying to lie your way out of this won't go well with me. It's true! Look, I've gotten the proof right here in my bag! What's he searching for? Not this. Not this either. I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Yeah, the fluorescent cloth. Ah, here. Please, take a look at this. Some sort of paper. What's it say? April 1st. Theft report accepted. Stolen item, Megatoxin X. This is a theft report. Acceptance certificate. What? Yesy. Truth is, 1 week ago, my Megatoxin X was stolen. 1 week ago? That means you didn't have it with you today? Yesy. That bottle you just found is probably the one that was stolen from me. I normally carry that bottle of Megatoxin X in my bag at all times. Even though I often forget to keep it locked up. I would never even think about mixing it with Normalium. But why in the world would you carry such a dangerous substance on your person? Well, you never know when those things will appear. Those creatures that infest the kitchen, striking fear into the heart of a lady, right? Although if you had a roll of newspaper, you could just squish them with one blow. Oh, maybe she's talking about flies. Justine, what do we do now? Well then, can we really accept this theft report, let's ask for confirmation. That should clearly tell us whether or not she's lying. Right, well then, I'll just call and confirm it. Looks like Miss Delicious isn't the culprit. Indeed. If she really did set up the poison gas as a trap, I don't believe she would do it in the way that incriminates her the most. So, Miles, who do you think is the culprit? Predicting the actions of the victim would require a fair amount of advanced planning. And there's only one person here capable of that. Huh? Uncle Ray would like to know too. Who do you suspect? I was hoping it wouldn't be her, but the one who stole the Megatoxin X and prepared the room in advance was... I mean, she's the curator of the gallery, and apparently she's an acquaintance of Delicia's. Or rather, a friend of hers, so she may have been the one who stole it, and then, of course, she would have had access to the exhibits and set up the trap.
Take that!
It had to be the curator of the Zodiac Art Gallery, Miss Catherine Hall. However, I still don't have any evidence that she's the criminal yet. I see, she's... The way he said that just now sounded like he'd been expecting it. Good job, Miles. As expected from Uncle Ray's future apprentice. I have no intention of becoming your apprentice. And I will now announce the results of my verification. I can confirm that her theft report was indeed accepted. Therefore, it's a little too early to come to a decision. That means your logic was completely faulty. You're wrong! My real performance is still to come! Really? And how do you plan to proceed with your investigation? That's... First, we need to speak with the curator. And after that? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Sebastian, Mr. Gustavia may have had business in the Winter Palace. I believe we should send an investigator there as well. Oh, that's good too. Detective Gumshoe, investigate the Winter Palace at once. Got it, sir. Justine, let's go talk to the curator. Yes, let us proceed. We should go and listen to what Ms. Hall has to say as well. Alright, I want you guys to listen to what the curator has to say. Mr. DeBest, weren't you going to go and talk to her yourself? Nah, that's a job for my subordinates. Of course. All I have to do is wait for their report. I'm the best prosecutor, after all. Such arrogance. Well, this is anticlimactic. I'm going to chill for a bit. Huh? What's that in the fountain? Ah! Huh? Oh, what the... A body? Oh god, another murder? Ah! There's a dead body in the fountain! What is the meaning of this? Silence, everyone. Forensics, identify this body at once. Yeah, who is it? It's terrible, pal! Please be quiet, detective. The ice sculptures in the Winter Palace! They've all melted, pal! What the hell? Oh my god, this is just one thing after another. What? What? Huh? What? Oh, good lord, what? What's going on here? there are 2 victims now! This is all just like 18 years ago. Once again, the ice sculptures have melted. Again! And everyone related to the incident 18 years ago is gathered here now. This is no mere coincidence, don't you think so, Miles? Yes. The key to finding the truth of this case is the IS-7 incident. This is what I believe. That's right. Uncle Ray thinks so too. Looks like it's time once again for Uncle Ray to tell you about the IS-7 incident. Whew. There's more, huh? Well, that bit was pretty short. Okay, I guess we're flashing back to the incident from 18 years ago. The IS-7 incident 18 years ago. Gregory Edgeworth's last case. Isaac Dover was murdered at the venue of a dessert contest. And his body was discovered in the chocolate treasure chest made by Jeff Master. The victim died from blood loss after being struck in the head with a rock salt lamp. The murder weapon was found hidden inside Delicia's candy castle. Again trying to frame her, perhaps. Then, in the victim's room where no one had searched yet, all of Dover's Sherbet sculptures had melted. Years ago again, yep. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room had melted. Due to that, Prosecutor Von Karma immediately drove us away from the scene. How are we going to investigate now? And what's with that defense attorney's out? Von Karma's methods are deplorable. Well, investigating the crime scene is supposed to be the police's job after all. But you gotta admit, Von Karma's methods are way out of line. Defense attorneys and the police should work together to discover the truth. Raymond, you must realize that not everyone shares the same views as us. Should one expose the truth for the sake of justice, or simply accept things as they appear? Everyone has their own view on what's right and what's wrong. Even if that means convicting an innocent man? Both ourselves and the police are only human, and as humans, we all make mistakes. It's for this reason that we defense attorneys exist. So that those who are alone and helpless can have an ally on their side. An ally on their side. If we cannot investigate, shouldn't we just find some other way to help? Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, I still have much to learn. They haven't yet told us whose body was in the fountain, though, did they? I didn't really recognize it. You're still young, so you'll have many opportunities to learn. Right, I'll do my best. Monsieur Edgeworth and Monsieur Shields, would you like to take a brief respite? I know it's not much, but please, eat these. The same candies in Delicia's purse. I see. Wow, thank you. Mr. Master's favorite food, handmade by Miss Hall. Very sweet and quite misshapen. Let's see. I appreciate getting some sugar into my system, but these are a little too sweet. Too sweet? And it's a little misshapen, too. I'm terribly sorry. Does it not suit your taste? Not at all. It's deliciously sweet. Thank you very much. But making sweets isn't really my forte. Huh? You made this chocolate cake? Yes. Chocolate is Monsieur Master's favorite food. Preparing his favorite food is also part of my job. I'm still not that good at it, so I need him to instruct me. I envy Master Jeff. He gets to eat Kate's handmade sweets whenever he wants. Did you say something? Oh, no, it's nothing. This is so sweet, in more ways than one. Is Katie's sweetness a facade, though? Miss Hall, you seem very dedicated to your work. Without my work, I wouldn't even have the right to be here. What do you mean? When I was a child, I was abandoned. Monsieur Master took me in. One snowy Christmas Eve, I was left on the doorstep of his mansion. I owe Monsieur Master my life. He became like a father to me. And so, to repay his kindness, I want to continue working for him. Kate, you're incredible. I've lived a long life. That brought tears even to my eyes. Today, Christmas Eve has finally arrived once more. But it looks like I won't be able to give him the present I prepared. Present? I would do anything if it meant saving Monsieur Master. If she killed Dover with the intent of framing Masters, why would she do that in this case? Unless she's just putting on an act for us. If there's any way I could be of service to you, please ask. Yes, I appreciate that. Well then, do you happen to know anything about the victim, Isaac Dover? I don't really know much about Monsieur Dover, but I have a photo of the desserts he made for the contest finals. Ah. This is certainly a splendid piece of work. Yes, with this exquisite beauty, it's truly a work of art. It's crafted so intricately that you almost forgot it. You almost forgot it's made of sherbet. It seems Monsieur Master was also fond of Monsieur Dover's work as well. Wow, those are the Taurus and Gemini constellations. Do you know a lot about constellations, Raymond? Of course. There's so much romance in the constellations. For example, take the club, lyre, and arrow held by Gemini here. Those come from... Huh? There are no strings on this lyre. Did Mr. Dover make a mistake in his sculpting? It's hard to think he would make a mistake like that. Huh? I thought you said you didn't know that much about him. Oh, I just sort of felt that way somehow. It appears she's hiding something from us. Miss Hall, did you take this photograph yourself? Yes, I took it with this instant camera. Develop the pictures instantly. It's one of my greatest treasures. Wow, I'd love to see it in action. Well then, why don't we take a picture right now? Yay, let's have our picture taken, Mr. Edgeworth. Sure, I don't mind. I'm confident in my hairstyle today. Well, especially since you're wearing a hat over it. Alright, I'm taking the picture. Say cheese! Here, it's developed. A present from me to you, Monsieur Shields. Wow, thank you so much. That's such a great camera. It's the only camera in this mansion. Unfortunately, its convenience comes at a cost. There are no negatives. No negatives, huh? Is this the same camera Mr. Master used during the contest? Yes, you're well informed. While he made his desserts, Monsieur Master photographed his work. After that, he took photos of all the other competitors' works. Was he taking photos at the time the body was found? The body was discovered during the judging, was it not? Yeah, and wait, she said she took a picture of the body as soon as she discovered it, right? If that was the only that doesn't add up then. Monsieur Master intended to take photos of everyone's rooms, but after he photographed Gustavia's room, he ran out of film. After he photographed Gustavia's room. Monsieur Master asked me to change the film, the camera. It seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough. There wasn't enough film? It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining. So a picture was taken before the judging. Well, he told me himself it might have just been a mistake, though. Was it really just a mistake? I retrieved more film from the main building and went back to the fountain patio. And it was then that I heard the sound of something breaking in Monsieur Master's room. Monsieur Master, are you in here? Eee! And that's when I found Monsieur Dover's body in Monsieur Master's room. It was so terrible. I was really shaken up. Before I spoke to anyone else, I called the police. This camera, I've kept it with me ever since. I see. If it's alright with you, would you mind lending me your camera and that photo? Sure, I don't mind at all. Here you go. Thank you very much. Instant camera. Has the capacity for 20 photos, but there's only film for 3 more. Detective Bad, Miss Delicious. Is the investigation over already? He said he had no more use for me and kicked me out. Manny, that meanie. What a rude thing to say. It was probably to ensure you wouldn't eat any more of the crime scene. So, Detective Bad, did you get kicked out too? Seems Von Karma thought I was getting in the way. He won't let me investigate. Why would he prohibit his own detective from investigating? But we know just about all there is to know about the crime scene. Right now, he's talking to Gustavia in Dover's room. Why does he need to speak to Mr. Gustavia? We heard from Hall that Gustavia was seen entering the victim's room. Oh, really? Mr. Gustavia? Yes, I saw him entering Dover's room, and it seemed like he was trying to avoid being seen. Although I have no idea what he did in there. He is currently under suspicion for melting Dover's sherbet. Just why did Mr. Gustavia enter that room? I also have a photo of Dover's room here, if you need it. I'll let you take a look at it. What? Why would you do that for us? You still don't get it, kid. I'm saying I want to help you guys, in order to discover the truth of this case. Detective Bad. Is that alright, Detective Bad? Won't Von Karman chew you out again? I have no intention of becoming Von Karman's lapdog. If he won't let me investigate, I'll just do as I like. Getting tied up in stupid rules will only blind you to the truth. He is 1/3 of the Yatagarasu after all. Isn't that right, Attorney Edgeworth? Of course, Detective Bad. I thank you. This is amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Now we've got Detective Bad on our side. I don't really get what's going on, but I'm glad you boys are all friends now. Grateful that it'll lend us his strength. Well then, can we see the photo now? Right. This is the current state of Dover's room. Wow, the sherbet's completely melted. The room is drenched in a bright blue liquid. We should compare this with the photo Miss Hall took. Did the sherbet melt because the power cord was pulled out? Yeah, because it was pulled. All the refrigerated glass cases lost power completely. Looks like all the power cords were connected to one socket. Do you have any idea when this cord was pulled out? No. It's still under investigation at the moment. Did Gustavia do it then, to try and sabotage his entry? What a waste of beautiful sherbet. Honestly, had I known it would end up like this, I would have eaten more of the stuff. Did Mr. Dover's sherbet taste that good? Oh, yesy! His sherbet was most delicious. Really, I wish I could have eaten some too. But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it. Salty? It's right here in this photo. It was a part of that leer. Oh? That's the leer from the Gemini constellation. Ah, you snuck a bite from the leer. That's why the strings are missing. Fie! I could never have eaten that much. It was way too salty. What does this mean? One part of the sherbet tasted different. That's rather curious. other than her also take a bite out of it. Did you notice anything else? Now that you mention it, I see Sherbet sculptures had these strange markings on them. They had 2 letters carved into them. Wait a minute. There! It looks something like this. Oh, the same as on that signet ring. An alphabet signature? Can't be. I knew it. I just knew that Monsieur Dover made this leer. He isn't one to make mistakes in his sculptures after all. Miss Hall, it's been troubling me for a while, but... do you know something about Mr. Dover? Huh? Why would I know something about Monsieur Dover? You seem quite attached to Mr. Dover's handiwork. And that's just because his sculptures are such great works of art. No, I believe that his works are very special to you in particular. How do you know that? There's a piece of evidence that we believe belongs to Mr. Dover. And it happens to share a common feature with another piece of evidence. Please show me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which 2 pieces of evidence share something in common? Start by presenting the first one. Yeah, this. And now the second piece of evidence, which shares a common feature. Yeah, because we found it on the teapot, too. Delicia saw 2 letters of the alphabet. They were probably used as Mr. Dover's signature. Just as an artist would sign their name on their works. Right. Oi! I remember now! I see Sherbet sculptures had PH carved into them, I'm sure of it. PH? Those aren't Isaac Dover's initials, though. No, but we found this seal at the scene of the crime. It had probably fallen out of the late Mr. Dover's pocket. Press the seal into something, it would mark the letters PH. Oh yeah, what was the name of... What was supposedly the name of this person? I know they said it before. Pierre Hoquet. He was a creator, huh? Was also the very same pH symbol is engraved into this teapot. The same symbol? This teapot was made by the sculptor Pierre Hoquet. In other words, this PH is the signature of Pierre Hoquet. Miss Hall, you know about his signature all too well, don't you? Yes. Monsieur Hoquet's works always bear that signature. Since he never shows himself in public, his signature is used to identify his works. He never shows himself in public, so no one knows what he looks like. Was that him, then? Was Isaac Dover just the pseudonym? No way. Are you saying Pierre Hoquette is... It seems Detective Bad has also realized Isaac Dover's true identity. To Miss Hall, Mr. Dover was no ordinary pastry chef. That's because his true identity was... That's right. Mr. Dover's true identity was the sculptor Pierre Hoquette. Okay, and with this, I think this is a good spot to cut off for just a second. I'll see you in just a sec as we continue. Alright, so after this new revelation, it seems we have two imposters in this competition. First we had a pharmacist impersonating a dessert chef, and now a sculptor. Things like signatures can be faked if you have the original designs. Can you really use that as proof he was a sculptor? No, but what's important here is that Ms. Hall thought he was. As for proving his real identity, I'll leave that to the police. I get it. I'll have the boys check up on it. But assuming Kate is the culprit, and she was apparently a big fan of his work, obviously, why would she kill him then? As I expected from you, Gregory Edgeworth. You knew Mr. Dover's real identity all along, didn't you? Yes. When I discovered the body, I noticed the seal. Oh. I knew from that moment he was Pierre Hoquet, the man I greatly admired. Thinking this would be his final posthumous work, I couldn't just sit still. So that's why you entered Dover's room. Huh? What'd you say? When exactly did you take this photo of Dover's room? That was... Perhaps this was taken during the judging. Nice try, but... That's strange. I thought you said the camera ran out of film during the judging. Before Mr. Master entered Dover's room, you were the one in possession of the camera. Wasn't that why you were able to take the photo when you discovered the body? Yes, that's right. The only photos you took with the new film were of Dover's room and the body. If that's the case, a new contradiction comes to light. Let me see this again. Only film for 3 more photos. So that's 17. So 17 photos were taken. There was the one she took of the body, one she took of Dover's room, and the one she took of Gregory and Ray. So what about those other 14 pictures that were taken since she changed the film? Another one? This piece of evidence that contradicts the 2 photos Miss Hall took. Yep. That is my instant camera. You've already handed the photos of Dover's room and the body to myself and the police. That reminds me, didn't you also take a photo of me and Mr. Edgeworth just now? The film used in this camera can take up to 20 photos. However, this camera only has 3 photos left, which leaves 14 photos unaccounted for. Exactly what were they used to photograph? Please show us all the photos you took. We will be able to discern your actions from these photos. I'm so sorry. I told a terrible lie. Don't tell me. All the remaining shots are of Isaac Dover's room. My My deepest apologies. It seems they're all shots of the ice sculptures from various angles. If she thought... If she thought he was dead, she wanted to take as many pictures of his final work as possible. So when these were taken, the sculptures had not melted yet. But that means the one who caused them to melt was you. Yes. I'm positive that I melted them. You're positive? I'm positive I melted them, instead of I melted them. I'm an aficionado of the sculptor Pierre Hoquet, who is actually Monsieur Dover. Before the authorities could defile his final masterpieces during their investigation, I thought I should preserve them through photographs, hence I entered his room. In that case, why did all the ice melt? It's probably because, as I was taking the pictures, I became entranced with his works. And it seems that my foot accidentally got caught in the power cord, unplugging it. Accidentally, you say? Okay, so why didn't you just plug it back in? I did not notice the power cord at the time. Oh. I would never have imagined that I would be the cause of those sculptures melting. Could the truth really be that simple? However, I cannot say with certainty that she's lying. I'm so sorry to have caused you all so much trouble. As long as you're telling the truth, there's no need to apologize. That's right, don't sweat it, Kate. Thank you very much. Edgeworth. Here, take this picture. Do what you want with it. He's back. Meddling fools, still haven't given up yet, have you? No matter how long you wait, I have no intention of allowing a defense attorney to investigate. No matter. If we can't investigate, we'll find the truth through some other method. Always ready with a comeback. Well, do try your best. Excuse me, Monsieur von Karma. The truth is, it was I who melted the ice sculptures in Monsieur Dover's room. What? What's the meaning of this, you clod? I am truly sorry, both to you and Monsieur Gustavia. Do not be concerned about me. Sir von Karma has already recognized that I had no hand in this act. That reminds me. Why did you enter Mr. Dover's room, Mr. Gustavia? Ah. Well, that was because... Silence, ignoramus! You are not to give that attorney the tiniest hint of information! Catherine Hall, you're coming with me. You are under suspicion of being complicit in the murder. No! I shall be interrogating you personally. You best prepare yourself. Oh boy, but... Very well. Please wait, I still have some questions I want to ask her. I do not care for your sorry plight in the least. Ugh. Bad, Gustavia? And while I'm at it, you as well, scones. I have plenty of questions for you all. Understood. Hi. While the matter, he says. The nerve. He just took everyone away with him. Yes. Even if we stay here, I don't think we'll be able to investigate any further today. Let's take our leave for now. It's already grown rather late. I hope the snow's stopped by now. Sounds good. Huh? What the hell was that? Oh, I'm starving anyway. Let's stop somewhere for hamburgers then, before my stomach joins the chorus. you can't fight on an empty stomach after all. We'll need to report back to Mr. Master with our findings first thing tomorrow. Alright, end of that portion. Katie? Huh? What are you doing here, Kate? Ah, Monsieur Shields. Monsieur Edgeworth. Allow me to apologize once again for all the trouble I caused you yesterday. Miss Hall looks a bit tired. Has Von Karma finished interrogating you? Yes. Aside from what happened to the ice sculptures, I was not at fault for anything else. Are you also here to meet with Master Jeff, Kate? Yes. I'm worried about how he's holding up. Oh, Bad? Huh? Detective Bad? Why are you here? I just happened to be here. I'll be heading to the crime scene soon. I don't think this is a place that people happen to be, though. Hello? Master Jeff! What happened to you? Yeah, why is his hair all white? Oh no, Monsieur Master, why do you look so poor? I didn't get much sleep last night. The tribulation known as questioning was rather harsh. I'm just a little exhausted. They didn't let you sleep? Even for an interrogation, that's going too far. Detective Bad? The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also in charge of the interrogation. I don't like Von Karma's methods, but this was all I could do. He was the one who brought me here. It seems I was supposed to be interrogated for a little bit longer, though. Sheesh. It seems Detective Bad is looking out for Mr. Master in his own way. So, shall we inform Mr. Master about what happened yesterday, Raymond? Yes, sir. Got all my memos right here. Mr. Master, we'd like to inform you about yesterday's investigation. Yes, thank you very much. Please, go ahead. Master Jeff, it's almost like your spirit's gone. Ah, my sugar levels are low, so I might not seem like my usual energetic self. Monsieur Master. Do we have anything that can give his spirit and his glucose a boost? Oh yeah, Katie's chocolate. Oh, those chocolates. Are you giving them to me? Ah, those chocolates are... If possible, I'd like to give them to you immediately. But it's against the rules to give anything to the suspects in the detention center. I see. Regrettably, if those are the rules, there's nothing we can do about it. Detective? Are you sure there's no way we can give them to him? Detective Bad looks like he noticed what we're trying to ask of him. I'll inspect the chocolates, and if there are no problems, I'll think about it. Detective Bad, thank you very much. Alright, I knew we could count on you, Detective Bad. I'm truly in your debt. Wait right here. Take it. Thank you very much. Not a word to anyone else. It would cause problems for me later. Yes, of course. I apologize for making you go through so much trouble. Now, I shall partake in eating these delicious delights at once. I'm sorry for asking you to do something so dangerous, Detective Bad. I only did what I wanted to do. Why can't you just be honest here, Detective? Oh, how sweet. It's like I've come back to life. Oh, did Kate make these chocolates? Yes, sir, I did. How does it taste? Melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Oh, God. Thank you for the tasty treat. Oh, they're a bit misshapen, but it's so sweet and delicious. Thank you. It's been mentioned several times how misshapen they are. Is that going to be important later? I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And above all, it helped you regain your spirit. Thank you for your concern. The food they serve here has been absolutely tasteless. Combined with a lack of sleep, I was thoroughly exhausted. Is the food here that bad? Just salt beef and stew. Your average prison fare. That is odd. I really could not taste anything. Whatever. I'm about to head out to the crime scene. Please wait, Detective Bad. Can you give us any new information? Yeah, I think I can. We've identified the victim. Just as you said. Isaac Dover was a sculptor who worked in France. It seems he went by the name Pierre Hoquet. So we were right. Isaac Dover was Pierre Hoquet? How could that be? Monsieur Pierre Hoquet. So Pierre Hoquet wasn't actually French, huh? Which is likely why he never showed himself in public while he worked under that name. The Zodiac sculptures. They were his masterpiece, it seems. Okay, so Pierre Hoquet was the pseudonym. Although they'll remain forever unfinished. Unfinished? Even though they were his masterpieces? It seems he worked on them by season. Once he finished the remaining winter constellations, his work would be done. I see. Huh? The winter constellations are Taurus and Gemini, right? So those ice sculptures were his final pieces. It's heartbreaking that they melted. I cannot apologize enough. No, I wasn't blaming you or anything. Also, Dover was infamous for being greedy. He would charge hundreds of thousands just to make a single sculpture. It seemed like he always had money troubles. The murder might be related to that, but it's still under investigation. Money troubles, huh? So he had money problems, even though he was a famous artist? Do you know why he entered a dessert contest? Not yet. He kept it a secret, even from his family. I see. It's time. I'm bringing in the replacement guard. I can't hang around here any longer than I have to. Yes, I understand. Let's meet again later. That detective is a kind soul. Indeed. He never strays from his own beliefs. He truly has a strong will. But he's pretty scary when you first meet him. I see. Could you tell me everything that happened yesterday? Of course. Allow me to give you a report of our investigation. So this is what happened. I'm sorry for the trouble Kate has caused you. I'm truly very sorry. You have no need to worry as long as you have told the truth, Miss Hall. Mr. Master, would you mind if I ask you a few questions as well? Yes. I shall divulge all that I know. Okay. Please tell us about the other 3 contestants in the final round of your contest. Let's see. Ms. Delicious's desserts had a fantastic design. However, she broke the rules, so I could not recognize her as the winner. Right. Up until the semifinals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. Oh? And there was something strange about his dessert in the semifinals. Something strange. Both Mr. Gustavia's and Mr. Dover's desserts had the exact same taste. They had different designs, but in terms of taste, it was like eating the same thing. Oh. What did they look like? There should be a picture of them at my mansion. Please allow me to show you later. Certainly, thank you very much. And then there was Mr. Dover's Sherbet sculptures. Oh, they were absolutely heavenly. Did you have a chance to taste his creations? If I recall correctly, his body was discovered in the middle of judging. Yes, but I was not informed of this until after the judging had finished. Since he was not present in the room, I helped myself to a piece of his edible leer. It was fantastically delicious! I was so moved I broke into song. It was... Oh? Wait a moment, please. Did you say the leer was delicious? 'Cause Delicia said that it was salty. Could you please give us a little more detail about that? You ate the leer from the sculpture in Mr. Dover's room, correct? Yes, the one that was in the same glass case as the Gemini sculptor. Please have a look at this picture, Mr. Master. Did you eat from this leer that's missing the strings? Yes, that leer originally had strings. Oh. However, I ate them all, resulting in what you see here in this picture. Oh, so you ate the strings. So the strings on the lyre were missing because he ate them. Actually, Delicia ate part of the same lyre that you did. However, she said it was so salty that she couldn't eat it. You don't say. That means there might be a problem with my sense of taste after all. A problem with your sense of taste? How so? There's a taste disorder called hypogeusia, in which you lose the ability to taste salt. Is that a real thing? Actually, okay, yeah, it is a real thing. It is a diminished sense of taste. Huh. It doesn't specifically mention salt, but it might vary from person to person. Perhaps I have contracted this illness. I just never realized it since I eat nothing but sweets. However, I now know with certainty. Oh, and yeah, because he couldn't... The salt beef, he couldn't taste either. That's why he couldn't tell what the food they served here tasted like. No, for a pastry chef to lose their sense of taste is fatal. Even if there is treatment for taste impairment, there isn't a cure for it yet. But it's probably best that you let the police know so you can receive a medical examination. No, that won't be necessary. There's a recipe in my mansion specifically for making the cure. Oh, that's convenient. A recipe for a drug that will cure your taste impairment? Yes, please look for it later when you return to the mansion. Monsieur Master, but that means revealing the... Oh, what was it? Kate, we should no longer conceal it from Mr. Gregory. Yes, sir. I understand. If that is what you wish. Recipe for a special drug. Just what are they hiding? What did they call it again? The Angel's Recipe. Is that what that is? Well then, I must be returning to the mansion now, so I will take my leave. Yes, we'll be heading there later as well. Kate? What is it, Monsieur Master? You should not live for my sake. You should reconsider your lifestyle, so that you can live by yourself, even if I were no longer around. Please do not say things like that. I simply cannot live without you, Monsieur Master. I promise to wait for you until you return. Excuse me. Now I am starting to have doubts that she did it. Either that or she's putting on a hell of a show for us. Kate! Catherine. Master Jeff, Kate was crying. Why did you say something so cruel? I am worried about her. Catherine always puts me before herself. What do you mean? She collects Pierre Hoquet's works and makes sweets. All to make me happy, nothing more. That is the only reason she does anything. She always puts aside her own preferences and things that she wants to do herself. I want Catherine to choose to live her own life. I do not want her to waste her valuable life because of me. Is that so? He thinks of Miss Hall as his own daughter, and he would want his children to choose their own path in life. And a parent would do anything to protect their own children. That feeling, I also know it well. Well, that should do it for the questions. We must return to the scene of the crime. Ah, it is already time to leave, I see. So will my tribulations of questioning resume. We should take measures against their interrogations from our side as well. Can you ask the police about that? I can, but I have other ways in mind as well. When the time comes... You're a dependable man. I shall be counting on you. Master Jeff, we'll come here every day with reports of our progress. And we'll bring Kate, too. Yes, thank you very much. I shall be looking forward to it. Mr. Master, know that the police will be attempting to get you to confess. I'm sorry to ask an innocent soul like yourself to bear with these painful experiences. But please hold on for now. If you confess, I'm positive that Von Karma will use that to his advantage. And that will make helping you all that much more difficult. I understand. I shall do my best. If you believe in me until the bitter end, I will definitely get you out of here. Okay, back at the mansion. Ah yes, December 25th. Merry Christmas, everybody. Detective Bad, thank you for helping us earlier. Yes, thank you. Thanks for what? There's no need to be shy about it. Enough about that. I suppose you intend to investigate today, too? Of course. We still need more information to prove Mr. Master's innocence. Sorry, but apart from this patio, you're not allowed to investigate anywhere else. What? So you're saying we can't investigate? I'm guessing this is Von Karma's doing. Yeah. Von Karma's a bit on edge at the moment. He still hasn't received the autopsy report. Oh. Moreover, the only ones in this mansion are Ms. Hall and the police. So don't get your hopes up on speaking with the people connected to this case. Von Karma's being completely unreasonable. He's gone too far. Detective Bad, what do you intend to do? I promised I'll do anything I can to assist you. You have my thanks. We won't let any of Von Karma's dirty tricks get the best of us. Detective Bad, is it already if we investigate the fountain patio? Yes, but we've already finished checking everything. Except for the fountain. That's fine. As long as there's still something, I shall continue investigating. What are you investigating exactly? Sir, I'm testing the water in the fountain for foreign matter, sir. Have you found anything? It seems there's both chocolate and sherbet mixed in with the fountain water. Oh. It matches the chocolate from Jeff Masters' room. And the sherbet that melted in Isaac Dover's room. They all share the same composition. The fountain water circulates through the streams that flow from each of the 4 rooms. Perhaps the melted sherbet flowed into the fountain. Also, someone's blood was detected as well. Oh! Okay, that's... What are you saying? How could there have been blood in the fountain? Detective Bad, please think back to our investigation of the crime scene. Detective Bad, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. Oh, that's right! The part that the blood was spilled on was removed. So somebody must have cut that out, and did they throw it in the fountain then? To try and dispose of it? The bloodstain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. I definitely didn't get any reports about the bloodstain being cleaned up. The blood disappeared from the crime scene. Also, part of the treasure chest was missing too. Perhaps the blood in the fountain belongs to this person. The victim. Let's run a comparison with the blood on the murder weapon. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's. I wonder why the criminal spilled the victim's blood in the fountain. Why would they want... If they did take that piece of the chest and throw it in the fountain, why... What would be the point of that? Wait a sec. Excuse me, sneeze. Hey, Kate. Oh yeah, you had some photos for us. Miss Hall, I've come to investigate today. Ah, Monsieur Edgeworth. I apologize for my disgraceful behavior earlier. Kate, she still looks a bit down. What Master said earlier must have been a real shock to her. I prepared the photo I took of the desserts during the semifinals. Please, take a look. Oh. Wow, Delici's cake is so cute. Even if it was likely fake. But, okay, Gustavia is that... Looks like a phoenix. Interestingly enough. And Dover's is a unicorn. And Master said that they both tasted exactly the same. then again, he also has that taste deficiency that we know of now, so I'm not sure if his assessment is completely accurate. Monsieur Master also praised the design of Delicia's work very highly. Messieurs Gustavia and Dover's works gained high praise for both taste and design, but Monsieur Master said it felt like he was eating the exact same thing twice. But it seems that their desserts had completely different tastes for the finals. Was there anything else that was different between the finals and the semifinals? It's nothing major, but there was something. During the contest, Monsieur Gustavia's son always came to see him, but there was no sign of him at the finals. Gustavia's son. His son came to visit. I wonder if there's any significance behind that. Would you mind leaving this photo with me? Certainly. Anything to aid in the investigation. And here's the recipe book that contains the special drug for curing taste disorders. That cover looks familiar. Oh, wasn't this framed in Master's room? Since it's also the prize for the contest, we put it out on display. It is the Angel's recipe. So the contest prize, the Angel's recipe, wasn't just a recipe for desserts. That's right, we've informed the participants, but it seems you all don't know yet. So the participants knew about the true contents of the Angel's recipe, which explains, then, why Delicia, a pharmacist, had entered the contest. That makes sense, but why a sculptor? Miss Hall, please tell me all you know about the Angel's recipe. So the Angel's recipe contains the formula for the drug. Yes, it's a recipe book for new drugs that hadn't been released to the public yet. Why would a dessert chef like Masters be in possession of something like that in the first place, though? Always more questions in these games. I do love it, though. If sold to a pharmaceutical company, I'm sure it would fetch a substantial price. Why is something like that a prize in the contest? Exactly. Monsieur Master is the only heir to the chairman of the Master Group. Master Group? That name sounds familiar. They're a pharmaceutical company who deal in a wide range of products. I see. Ah, they've become big news recently with the release of Cold Killer X. Cold Killer X, that I like. There's a little callback to the third game. I didn't use the Cold Killer products, but I've never once seen you with a cold. I guess that means it works, I guess? I would like to hear more about the Master Group. Did Mr. Master not want to follow in his parents' footsteps? Monsieur Master wanted to bring joy to people with his desserts. His parents also wanted him to become a great pastry chef and supported him. When his parents died, the recipe book was left to him as his inheritance. Why would he give away a memento of his parents as a prize in the contest? There were always people who were after it, something which troubled Monsieur Master. But just giving away the memento would have been disrespectful to his parents. So he decided to pass it over to someone he acknowledged. And the members of the Master Group approved of that? Information about new drugs being passed on to outsiders. I'm wondering if could it have been somebody from that group that could be our culprit? Of course they objected. That's why Delicia participated in the contest. On the order of the Master Group, she was requested to win the championship. Okay, so she was a mole sent by them. You knew Delicia's true identity from the start? Yes. In order for her to win, I told her Monsieur Master's tastes and preferences. Oh. What does this mean? Why did you help her? I helped her in order to protect Monsieur Master and the Master Group. If the drug recipes were given to another company, he would have been reprimanded by the board. I wanted to return the recipes to the company in a way that Monsieur Master would accept. I see, you did it to protect him then? So it was due to Ms. Hall's help that Delicia was able to reach the finals. Speaking of which, Mr. Dover wasn't a pastry chef either. Yeah, that's concerning as well. Why would he enter the contest? What stake did he have? He sure did well to make it to the finals, considering he's just a sculptor. Yes, for him to be able to make such fine desserts despite being a sculptor. From the Sherbet sculptures he made for the finals, it's clear to see he has great talent, but... could he really have made that by himself? Gustavia helped him. That's why their desserts in the semifinals tasted the same. And he went into... why he went into, Dover's room. Why would he help him, though? Is there anything else I can do to help? To save Mr. Master, she's trying to help as much as she can. May we perhaps have some more of that tea from yesterday, please, Miss Hall? I'm sure that would help us get on with the investigation. Yeah, I'd like some of Kate's tea, too. Right, understood. I'll be back in a minute. Kate looks a bit better now. Oh, we're done already. Okay. Gathered information about all the contestants. And yet we still haven't heard Gustavia's side of the story. That reminds me. Why did you enter Mr. Dover's room, Mr. Gustavia? Well, that was because... Silence, ignoramus! You are not to give that attorney the tiniest hint of information! Okay, so he must have already told Von Karma this. What exactly was he doing in Mr. Dover's room? And moreover, something's odd about his semi-final entry. A pastry chef bad at design, and a sculptor skilled only at designing. It would have been extremely difficult for either of them to win the contest alone. So are they helping each other then? Could it be that Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's connection is... Detective Bad, we have reason to suspect the actions of Dame Gustavia. Yeah. It's imperative that we find a way to contact him at once. Oh? This conversation is most interesting. Who's this? Huh? Oh, you. However, I cannot allow you to speak with Mr. Gustavia. Von Karma. I have already conducted my interrogation of him. It is not necessary for him to speak any further, especially to a mere defense attorney. But I will answer your questions in that fool's place. It seems Von Karma intends to prevent me from meeting Gustavia in person. I understand. In that case, I have but one thing to ask you. Yes? I would like to know the relationship between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Gustavia and Dover's relationship? It's obvious the only relationship they had was that they happened to participate in the same contest. That's it? Wow, that's pretty cut and dry testimony there. There is nothing more to say. How are we supposed to understand anything from so little? If we want Von Karma to divulge the truth, we have no choice but to present evidence. It's all too obvious that he's hiding something.
Objection!
Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like you to look at these desserts. The desserts were made for the contest semifinals. Don't you think these two have a particularly impressive design? Just what are you getting at? These two desserts were made by Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. I wouldn't exactly call Mr. Gustavia's design skills praiseworthy. And yet, for the semifinals, he was able to produce something comparable to Mr. Dover's. Furthermore, these two desserts have the exact same flavor.
Objection!
What are you trying to say? I'm saying it's possible they collaborated with each other on their entries. Prosecutor Von Karma, please take a closer look at their desserts. Oh yeah, the flower designs look the same too, on both. Yes! At first glance, they may look completely different. But even though the designs are different, it's clear they were made from the same materials. Is that so? The same flavor and composition? It's impossible to dismiss their similarity as coincidence. The very existence of these two desserts points to a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Since you already know this much, I'll tell you the truth. Did Von Karma know about their collaboration? Oh, of course he did. He's just trying to bullshit. However, what I am about to say is not going to help your case at all. We'll be the judge of that. If you want to know about Gustavia and Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Last night, when I interrogated Gustavia, he told me about his connection with Dover. Until the day before the finals, they worked on their desserts together. Still, very short testimony. You knew about their cooperation all this time, didn't you? Why would you conceal the truth?
Objection!
I would appreciate it if you didn't sully my reputation. Until I explain my points in court, I avoid giving away unnecessary details. I was merely saving you time. How can he act like this and keep the truth from us? His concealment of the truth is something I simply cannot ignore. Why do you think Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover collaborated? Why? Because Gustavia had poor design sense, and Dover was a novice at baking. Without the help of each other, they would never have made it through a single round. Well, to be fair, Dover wasn't really baking anything. He was making Sherbet sculptures, but... If so, what was their mutual goal? Why cooperate until the finals? The finals will be fought on our own merits, Gustavia said, and he ended their collaboration. Gustavia's goal was to obtain the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. It seems his pride as a pastry chef won out in the end. Victory in the finals would certainly have been hollow had he cheated. So he believes that their cooperation only went as far as the semifinals. But what if it really continued through the finals? Prosecutor Von Karma, could you explain their cooperation in a little more detail? Very well. Mr. Master said Mr. Dover was the favorite to win at the finals. Which means he must have still been cooperating with Mr. Gustavia at the time, right? Yes, that is what I believe. I must have evidence that proves they still cooperated during the finals. The finals, they were on their own. Part was very salty.
Objection!
That part doesn't... You say Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover did not collaborate during the finals. That's strange. Delicia testified that Dover's sherbet was most delicious. Being a novice chef, I doubt he could have done that by himself. Perhaps the two of them cooperated during the finals as well. Defense attorney, how many times do I have to tell you? Delicia Scone's objective opinion cannot be admitted as evidence. There is still a chance that a novice chef could make something tasty. My wife is an amateur, yet her cooking rivals that of world-class chefs. How is that not a subjective opinion? Moreover, even if you take this pharmacist's testimony to be true, it changes nothing. She also mentioned that a part of his sherbet was very salty, which means you can hardly call his entry for the finals perfect. Yeah, that's true. So... What, no more objections? Is there no way I can prove their collaboration? Mr. Edgeworth? There's something that's been bugging me. What is it? The desserts Mr. Dover made for the finals would have taken a long time to make, right? Indeed. They were frozen sculptures, after all. How would he have had the time to sculpt it after it was frozen? Let alone help Mr. Gustavia with his design as well. The way I see it, just waiting for the sherbet to freeze would have used up all of his time. Just how is he able to make those sherbet sculptures? Raymond, you may have a promising future after all. Okay, with this, let me take another pause, and I'll be back in a few. Alright. So, a few more pieces coming together on this. Seems like Gustavia and Dover were in cahoots during the contest. But for what reason, we're not sure yet. Thanks to you, I've noticed one more possibility. Ray's still eating paper. That's right. Mr. Dover's sherbet needed time to freeze properly. And the contest time limit wouldn't have been enough. The method Mr. Dover used to make his sherbet within the time limit was... He probably made it in advance. If the sherbet was prepared in advance, all he needed to do was sculpt it. Just what are you mumbling about? Please, excuse me. I finally realized... Your earlier view was correct. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? What are you doing? So you're finally admitting defeat. No. All I'm admitting to is the truth of one of your statements. Dover and Gustavia's collaboration lasted only until the day before the finals. It's exactly as you said. They only cooperated until the day before the finals. When he gave him the pre-prepared sherbet. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze. Which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before. That's right. So you realize Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals. Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return? The views of the dead are of no concern to me.
Objection!
If you aren't going to answer that, I'll need to get in touch with Mr. Gustavia himself. Or is your interrogation not quite as thorough as you claim? You ingrate! You dare mock me? That was not my intention, but I do have a problem with your attitude. I want you to give us a clear reason why we can't speak to Mr. Gustavia in person. A clear reason? Gustavia and Dover's collaboration has no bearing on this case.
Objection!
You claim their collaboration is irrelevant? If Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour, it could serve as a motive for murder.
Objection!
You're saying that Gustavia and Dover's collaboration was linked to the motive for the murder. If that were the case, why did he not conceal it? After all, we found out about this collaboration from Gustavia himself. If you really are a lawyer, show us evidence that gives us reason to suspect Gustavia. One of Mr. Gustavia's actions has been suspicious so far. Doubtless Von Karma already knows of this fact. This could be a trap by Von Karma. What's wrong, defense attorney? Not going to answer? But I mustn't back down now. Mr. Gustavia sneaked into Mr. Dover's room. His reasons for this are currently unclear. The The very fact he secretly entered the victim's room is reason enough to suspect him. That's the extent of it. I can dispel those doubts. I knew it. Was it a trap after all? I was intending to save this for the courtroom, but I'll make a special exception. We wouldn't want to prolong the trial with unnecessary information, would we? Take a look at this. It's Dover and Gustavia and 2 kids. This is a photo of Gustavia and Dover on their sons. Oh yeah, Gustavia's son always came to visit until the finals. Why was that? Why did he not come on the day of the finals? Gustavia entered Dover's room in order to steal this photo. To steal the photo? It seems their sons attended the same elementary school. Apparently he thought that he'd be suspected if people found out he and Dover were acquainted. Yes, just like you're doing now. There is nothing suspicious about Gustavia's actions. No further room for argument. Yeah. He's still adamant on not letting us meet with Mr. Gustavia. I have an investigation to return to. I have no more time to waste on the likes of you. Curse that Von Karma, calling us a waste of time. What should we do, Mr. Edgeworth? At this rate, Master Jeff will be... Von Karma is busy. Of course. Why would he be so busy? Both the body and the murder weapon have been found, and he already has his suspect. The police should have more than enough evidence to prove Mr. Master's guilt. If that's the case, then why is Von Karma still investigating the crime scene? Mr. Edgeworth, is something wrong? It seems I've been overlooking a matter of vital importance. Considering he already has the evidence he needs to convict Mr. Master, I feel that Von Karma isn't as composed as he should be. He didn't even tell Detective Bad the full results of the investigation. Yeah. Von Karma's a bit on edge at the moment. He still hasn't received the autopsy report. Furthermore, something vanished from the crime scene, and we still don't know why. Detective Bad, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. The bloodstain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. Definitely didn't get any reports about the bloodstain being cleaned up. But the strangest thing we found wasn't in Mr. Master's room at all. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's. Mr. Dover's blood vanished from Mr. Master's room. It somehow found its way into the fountain. What does this mean? Although the victim's blood wasn't found in Mr. Masters' room. It was detected in the water fountain. There would be no need for the killer to conceal the bloodstains after the body was found. It's unnatural that only the bloodstains that were found with the body disappeared. Unless the body was moved. Blood would have still remained on the chocolate. Don't tell me. Someone removed the body and then erased the bloodstains. Possible that the body was removed from the crime scene. And the autopsy report still hasn't arrived. Though we have a murder weapon and a suspect, we don't know much about the body. I've been investigating under the assumption that the body had been discovered. Perhaps this assumption was wrong from the very beginning. Why didn't Von Karma give Detective Bad the autopsy report? To understand that, yes, I must turn my logic around. My thinking shouldn't be, why is Von Karma hiding information about the body? But rather, what if Von Karma doesn't even have the information to begin with? What happens if I think of it like that? It's possible that the body wasn't removed by the police for autopsy. It was moved and hidden by the real killer. Mr. Edgeworth? I've heard many dark rumors surrounding Von Karma. He's a prosecutor who forges evidence, fabricates testimonies, and makes backroom deals. Yeah, I've heard that too, but what does that have to do with this? I try to avoid judging others based on rumors, and I didn't let those rumors influence my opinion on Von Karma. Until today. It seems he's a man who would distort the truth. Distort the truth? You don't mean forgery? I do. And I can't allow him to get away with this. You think Von Karma was the one then who removed that piece of the bloody piece of the chest? I must return to the prosecutor's office for now. Not a word to that attorney. Roger.
Hold it!
What do you want, defense attorney? I want to know the truth that you've been hiding. Fool. Are you trying to mislead the police's investigation again? If you interfere with the investigation anymore, I'll be forced to reprimand you myself.
Objection!
Police? No. My objection is with you. What? Isn't it a prosecutor's job to ensure justice for criminals? What are you saying? I have no time to debate the job of a prosecutor with you. However, I will tell you one thing. My job is to ensure all those I prosecute are found guilty. Before the perfect proof, there can be no room for doubt.
Objection!
And to find that perfect proof, you would even stoop to forgery. I was wondering what you were going on about. You intend to accuse me of forgery, don't you? Yes. And it's for that reason you didn't allow Detective Bad to investigate. What do you mean? The real reason Detective Bad wasn't investigated wasn't so he could keep an eye on us. It was to hide the fact you never found the body. What? They never found the body?
Objection!
You cretins! You will cease with these ludicrous accusations. I will not tolerate any further insults. In that case, let us verify the body. If you do, we'll have evidence that shows whether I'm right or not. The burden of proof falls on you, defense attorney. I have no reason to comply with your baseless conjecture.
Objection!
You must have noticed it too. The lack of bloodstains at the crime scene. So why'd the blood vanish? And more importantly, where'd it go? Foolishness. Why would anyone erase just the blood in the chest that contained the body? Yes, that's exactly right. If the body had been found there, the disappearing bloodstains would have no meaning at all. However, what if the body was already gone? To erase the traces of the body being there, one would have to get rid of the bloodstains as well.
Objection!
Why make such a fuss over those bloodstains? It seems like a trivial detail to me. Or, are you saying that you can show me where those bloodstains went? In court, everything must be said with evidence. Isn't that right, Von Karma? In that case, I'll show you the evidence supporting my claim. That was... That was the blood we found. That was why we found it in the fountain. There were traces of the victim's blood found in the fountain. Traces of Mr. Master's chocolate were also found in this very fountain. In other words, the blood was washed down the stream, which then flowed into the fountain. All of this points to only one possibility. After the body was removed, someone erased the bloodstains. Ugh. Von Karma, where was the body really found? If you really found the body, you should be able to answer. How do you know this information? How do you know the results of the water composition test on the fountain? Because I allowed them to investigate. Bad? Always a thorn in my side. From here on out, I will not allow you to associate any further with this case. It's not like you were letting me do much anyway. Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Or are you admitting to the fact that you didn't find the body after all? You say I never found the body. That is your evidence. He's never going to confess. I have nothing further to say to you. Gregory Edgeworth, this matter will be decided in court. We'll see just how well your logic holds up there. Karma, I know your methods are wrong. I promise, without fail, I will expose the truth you've hidden. Detective Bad, I'm sorry. It's because you let me investigate that. No, this was bound to happen, sooner or later. This is also the first time I've been restricted in my investigation. Your theory that they never found the body sounds pretty close to the mark. That I will make clear in court. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Even though I'm no longer in charge of this case. Then, though I'm very sorry about this, I have one more favor to ask of you. Hey, what are you guys whispering about? I want to know too. This will be my trump card in court. The information I've gathered up until now should be enough to prove Mr. Master's innocence. But, if all else fails, I'll have this ready. Your trump card? You'll see at the trial. Wow, I get to be at the trial too? Of course. You are my assistant after all. I'll be an ace attorney too next year. Von Karma will never beat the two of us. Right. Although I hope to clear Mr. Master's name before you become a lawyer. If Von Karma is to be my opponent, he'll want the trial ended in a day. That's right. We have to save Master Jeff as fast as we can. After all, this is you we're talking about. I'm sure you'll beat Von Karma. Jeff Master, alone in a dark cell, arrested on false charges. I must expose Von Karma's lies if I'm to save him. But we find out that didn't happen, though. That Master did end up being convicted. Although, again, that trump card that Gregory mentioned, it was said back in the first game that something came out, something that exposed Von Karma, and it ended up tarnishing his perfect record still. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened in my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? In the end, Von Karma defeated us. Huh? So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence? We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it. But Von Karma was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. That's right, he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year, until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down. The The 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. Yeah, this... Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yeah. That was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start. When your old man tried to expose the fact that the body hadn't been found, Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Oh. Then they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Was that the trump card he was talking to Detective Bad about? Yeah, that trump card was to be our insurance, in case Mr. Master confessed. He asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. The defense presented the recording, which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seems the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer, took all the blame and was charged and dismissed. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption, and Von Karma received his first penalty from the then chief prosecutor. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer. And then the curtains closed on the trial that day with a verdict of guilty. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there, watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence. But he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case. DL6. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day. And what's more, to blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you'd hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But this case file says guilty of murder. there shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charge has been rewritten. What? Look at this. Jeffrey Master, 39, curator of the dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hypogeusia, and he was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? Did von Karma forge it? This file was given to you by von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out, after all. So what I'd come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know it from now on. The statute of limitations is long expired, but the truth still sleeps, right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case. Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty. No! Is there nothing we can do, even now? Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with von Karma because von Karma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. Oh. So he went after Katie. That's terrible! I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison? Oh, I see. You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pye to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow she went, every single day without fail. But nothing's changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment. That's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? That's why I came here. We're gonna put this 18-year case to rest, huh? Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So what are you gonna do, Miles? I'm a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father. Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want is Miles Edgeworth. Is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I'm here. You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Ah. Thank you. Time of death. December 24th, 2000, 18 years ago. Crime scene, Jeffrey Masters' room, Mr. Masters' mansion. Murder weapon, rock salt lamp. Prosecutor Manfred von Karma, defense attorney Gregory Edgeworth. The statute of limitations ran out on December 24th, 3 years ago. David, Jeffrey Masters, 39 Creek. Okay, we just read this part. He was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. Isaac Dover, age 38. His true identity is the famous French sculptor Pierre Hoquet. He entered the contest as a cake designer, but his body was found in the defendant's room. The cause of death was blunt trauma to the head. Because the victim's body vanished, there appears to be no autopsy report. Is that the true reason? Ah, you said that Von Karma may have forged an autopsy report. Okay, and there's the photo of the body that Katie apparently took. And now, here's the IS-7 evidence. There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields. Right. I'll check through it later. Anyway, there's so many strange things about this case. Okay, we got the photo. The rock salt lamp. Finger marks. Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited, and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. Two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas. The victim of the poison gas was Dame Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. Yeah, whose body is that? And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago. Right, let's get started.
Objection!
Oh. What now, Draco? Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Unfortunately, no. I wish I could, though. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you insist to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, the word guilty will be added to your PIC report. Yeah. How about your POS report? What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to insist in your investigation as before. I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, it's only a matter of time until we figure it out. In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind. Wait, Edgy already knows? Very well. It's not just the sculptures that made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is... Wait, oh, the body was never found. And his blood was in the fountain. Is it... Is it really his body?
Take that!
It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. No way. Isaac Dover. For 18 years? After 18 years, wouldn't his body have long decomposed, though? Unless it was frozen, maybe. Huh. Was his body hidden in the fountain somehow? What the hell does this... It's Icy's body! Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him. Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor. But he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations. So in other words, that sculptor was the best. Somehow I feel a strong kinship to him. And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident? She knew about the IS-7 incident. Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body. That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth. What are you saying? The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Hello? Huh? Really? Something wrong, Sebastian? No, it's just they said that they know who the victim is. Is it? It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover. No, it can't be. It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, Judge Courtney? Have you finally realized that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest? Hey, you! Are you trying to steal DeBest's position for yourself? I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate, no? The truth is none of your concern.
Objection.
I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie. You again? Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body's been discovered here. In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? unless you have an ulterior motive. Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident. So it would seem she really is here because of the PIC. Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is. He's the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on. Ugh. Very well, I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the fountain patio is open to you. That's my Courtney pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I'll allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray. Oh, this guy does not quit. Oh, overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave. Understood. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. You really helped us there. Uncle Ray did it all for himself. Alright, Uncle Ray's gonna investigate too, so let me know if you figure something out. Got it. Right then. Okay, let's begin the investigation. Okay, let's do this. We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were hidden. We don't have enough information to go on. You're right. Our first priority is the Normalium. Well, Normalium is used in washing detergents, paints, and the like. If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma. Minty aroma, huh? Well then, let's get looking for that Normalium. All right, let's do it. It appears the body has already been recovered by the police. Why was the body of the victim from 18 years ago found floating in the fountain? I mean, wouldn't the body have gone all goopy after 18 years? I don't know if I would call it goopy. It certainly would have required a special method to preserve the body. Yeah, I wonder if such a method even exists. Hey, Mr. Forensic Guy, any new information? Yes. Normalium and Fatalium have been detected in the fountain water. Oh. Both chemicals. They must have flowed through the stream from the Autumn Palace to the fountain. Aside from the chemicals, we also found high levels of sugar. We're working hard on investigating it. Sugar in the fountain water. What could have caused that? Wait, what's... Did someone shit on the carpet? The smell and this color. Don't tell me this is a puddle of tea. There's a piece of pottery in the middle of the puddle. Oh, pH again. I wonder what broke. I think I recognize the design. I should probably show this to that man and see what he has to say. On the service cart, Miss Hall has prepared her tea set. According to the pamphlet, the museum is also famous for its tea. Yes, it certainly had a flavorful, rich taste. Seems this tea set was also made by Mr. Dover. Oh, so the tea set was made by the victim. Let's take a closer look. Right, there was the teapot there. So this tea set was made by Isaac Dover. Fancy stuff, huh? Okay, I'd say this tea set is worth thousands of dollars. Please be careful with it. This tea set is such a treasure? Please don't look so excited. If I recall correctly, Miss Hall was a huge fan of Mr. Dover. Hey, Edgy! Oh god, what do you want, butts? What is it? Careful with that teapot! Why must I be warned by him of all people? Madam and Monsieurs? Katie, would you care for some tea? Miss Hall. Katie! No, I'm fine, thanks. Edgy, you guys can have some. Well, since you asked, we might as well take a short break. Certainly. Thanks for the tea. Wow, it's so tasty. What kind of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth? It's Ceylon tea, known for its citrus aroma. However... Miss Hall, is this the same tea you served us this morning? Yes, that's right. Was it not to your liking? No, it's not that. The tea we had this morning had a slightly different aroma. Was it... Didn't they say it was mint? How strange. It's the same Ceylon tea I served this morning. There shouldn't be anything different about it. What's wrong with you, Edgy? Quit nitpicking about the tea Katie so kindly prepared for you. Larry, what are you getting so upset about? I'm not upset. You're just being a rude jerk. I told you to call me Laurice. Sheesh, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It's like arguing with a child. Laurice, I wonder what's wrong. I'd like to ask him that later myself. And I also need to speak with Miss Hall. I don't have any evidence that shows she's the culprit, but I dare say she's the one who set up the poison gas trap. Think she is the culprit. If it is what I think it is, that again, I think it was mentioned before, it was like a minty aroma, wasn't it? It's a container with Ceylon tea leaves in it. To prevent exposure to sunlight and moisture, the container is airtight, made of tin. This should help preserve the quality of the tea leaves. Miss Hall, where have you been until now? I was showing the reunion guests out and handing out complimentary gifts as an apology. Did you require my services? Yes. There are a few things I want to ask you about. If my suspicions are correct, she's the one who set up the poison gas trap. How exactly did you prepare the melted sculptures from 18 years ago? So you know about what happened 18 years ago? It's because 18 years ago I photographed Monsieur Dover's sculptures. That's right. Using the photos as a base, I managed to create replicas. Replicas. The Zodiac sculptures have been an unfinished work, so I wanted to complete it somehow. Because I'm the one who accidentally melted Monsieur Dover's sculptures. And could you tell me why the Autumn Palace resembles the Winter Palace so much? Well, my apologies. Did they really look so alike? I think I may have gotten some of the decorations mixed up. She's obviously lying. But I haven't gathered any evidence to prove that yet. I see. Hello, Laurice. Larry, tell me what you're hiding. You two, stop glaring at each other like that. I'm not glaring, Kay. I'm using my artist's perspective. Edgy's the one who's glaring. Then, if you know what's good for you, you'll tell me what you're hiding right now. No way, dude. Didn't I say I'm not talking to you anymore? Aren't you talking to me right now? From now on, I'm definitely not talking to you anymore. I'm not gonna get anywhere like this. Looks like I'll have to force it out of him. Larry, what are you hiding? Hey, come on, Mr. Edgeworth, this isn't the time to be playing around, you know? I wasn't playing around. Still, looks like Laurice won't be talking anytime soon. If he isn't going to talk to us willingly, I just have to force him to talk. I may just have something on what he's hiding. I should present that to him and see what he says. I feel like I've seen this design somewhere before. Isn't it Pierre Hoquet's, the sculpture's signature? I wonder why this was dropped in a puddle of tea. Why do I get the feeling I know who's behind this? Oh, did Butts break one of the teacups? Larry, take a look at this. What's that? Larry, I've got a feeling that what you're hiding is related to the tea in this pottery shard. Well, if you're not gonna talk to me, I can always hand this shard over to Judge Courtney. Wait, I'm trying to keep a clean image for Justy! I don't want her to see how I dirtied myself! I can't imagine what part of you can be considered clean, but... if you don't want her to declare you guilty, I suggest you speak truthfully now. I got it, I'll tell you! Alright. Then, give me a second, once again we'll see what the Butts has to say in a few minutes. Alright, butts. Time to cough it up. Larry, it's time to confess to what you've done. As always, if something smells, it's gotta be the butts. How can you be so cruel to your best friend? The same way you can be so dishonest to your best friend? We can stop glaring at me. I promise to tell you the truth this time for sure. I just thought I'd pour Justy some tea. But my hand kinda slipped a bit, and it broke. I accidentally broke the crazy expensive teapot! The butt strikes again. Why am I not surprised? But wait, the teapot was sitting right there on the tea set, though, so... Oh boy, you've really done it this time, Larice. What should I do, Edgy? Katie'll hate me! Crying to me about it won't solve anything. First, you should apologize to Miss Hall. Is that so? My teapot was... Katie, I'm so sorry! I don't have any money, but I'll draw as many portraits of you as you like. Please kindly raise your head, monsieur. It is I who should apologize. I didn't notice the broken shards. It's dangerous, so I'll tidy up the broken pieces. Allow me to take this piece from you as well. Wasn't this tea set one of Isaac Dover's works? I heard it was very important to you. Yes, but there's no use crying over spilled tea. Besides, I still have another one of those teapots left. Is she not as attached to Dover's works as she used to be? Katie, you're so kind! Oh. That other teapot you were talking about, is it the one in that cart? Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yes? Truth is, when I was trying to hide the broken shards, I looked under that cart. And I found a teapot that looked exactly the same, so I switched them. Is that the tea that she poured? Really? Yeah, everything's cool now. I took great care to make sure no one would break that pot. Don't brag about that when you were the one who broke it in the first place. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Thank you for your consideration. Edgy, Katie is a really nice lady, isn't she? You should reflect on how you cause trouble for people like her. Okay, when I make it big as an artist, I'll donate paintings. In fact, I'll even welcome you as my own personal model. I think it would be better if you just stopped causing trouble. I hope you haven't done anything else. I haven't! I just stood around sketching beauties! Sketching beauties? If you're interested, I can let you take a peek. I guess even Mr. Edgeworth is interested in beauties. It's not like that. I just thought it might be another one of his strange paintings. How dare you! I'm very confident in my work this time. Ooh, I want to see too. Oh, I'm glad you're so honest about it, Kay. I'll get it ready, so come check it out later. I guess I'll have him show it to me later. About that sketch you mentioned just now. What? If you want to see my art, you should have been honest about it from the start. Look, here it is. Okay, there's one of Katie, one of Courtney, and one of Delicia. What is this? I already told you, it's a sketch of beauties. But just to be clear, the beauties only refers to Justy and Katie. That other plump lady has nothing to do with that. Oh? Then why did you draw her on the same page? Well, I was taking a break from my still life painting when those beauties caught my eye. I guess I just drew them on the same page without thinking. Still life? Yeah, what's she doing with the fountain? It looks like she's putting something in it. So you're saying the pictures on this page were each drawn separately? Huh? Oh yeah, I may have drawn them at different times. By the way, there's a drawing of the beautiful little Miss K on another page. Wow, beautiful, huh? Thanks. Larry, you drew this exactly as you saw it, correct? Well, yeah, even I can't draw what I can't see. I recreated the scene perfectly, even the delicate shades. Delicate shades, huh? I don't want to admit it, but this picture might be of help in the investigation. The contents of the sketch and the service cart in the fountain patio. It seems there is a contradiction between the two. I'll need to expose this contradiction using my powers of deduction. Can I borrow the sketch for a little while? Sure. I can even sign for you if you like. I think I'll pass. The service cart, huh? Not a single stain on this pure white tablecloth. Take hold the edge and focus your mind. Then in one go, pull! Okay, I hope you're not planning to do anything bad. No, don't worry. Even if I fail, the tablecloth will just be dyed a nice black a la tea. The tablecloth looks better white. Please refrain from changing it. I wonder about that. It might look better in another color. Like pink or blue. Or tea. Wait a sec. In Larry's sketch, yeah, you can even see it there. The tablecloth looks blue.
Eureka!
Larry, there's something I want to ask you about your sketch. Huh? You want a lecture on sketching from the famed Professor Loris, don't you? No. I just need to ask you something. The tablecloth in your sketch, are you sure it was light blue? Yeah, my eyes never fail me. But the one on the service card here is white, isn't it? Dude. You're always so busy thinking with just your head that you miss the obvious. What's with that look on your face? When I drew that painting, I was using the cart with the tea set on it, remember? Because I was tidying up the broken pottery shards. That's not something to be proud of. And right then, Katie came out of the Winter Palace. I had to hurry and hide the broken teapot so she wouldn't notice it. Did you just say Miss Hall came out of the Winter Palace? That's right, but this time she was pushing another service cart. And the tablecloth was light blue, just like how we drew it. What did she do with the service cart? And are those her chocolates on it? Beats me. She went into the summer palace with it, so I don't know. And when she came out, she was pushing the lift trolley. The lift trolley? When I called out to her, she was so surprised she just left it there. She's so cute when she's shy. A second service cart and a lift trolley. Maybe there were 2 tea sets along with 2 service carts. We'll have to verify it with Miss Hall. There's another thing here. Yeah, okay, Larry switched teapots, and that's probably why the aroma of the tea was different. Maybe the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different was because the pots had been switched. Eh, really? The taste of the tea itself didn't actually change after all. Let's go ask Miss Hall about it in more detail. Miss Hall, was the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different was because the pots were switched? Yes, that's certainly possible. It had a fresh minty aroma, not unlike that of Uva tea. Ah, I remember now. I prepared some mint tea yesterday. I'm sure the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot. Is that really all there is to it? Minty aroma was emanating from the pot Larry had replaced. Miss Hall said the aroma was left over from the mint tea she prepared yesterday. Indeed. She seemed less surprised to find out that Larry broke the teapot, and more surprised by the fact that the pots had been switched. That's right. Normally it would have been the reverse. A broken teapot is much more shocking. She was probably trying to hide this teapot. Hide the pot. Hide the pot. One of the characteristics of normalium is a minty aroma. There's a possibility that she was hiding normalium inside this teapot. What? Inside the pot? It's only a possibility for now, but it's one worth investigating. Mr. DeBest, I assume you haven't found the normalium yet? Oh! I've had the entire art museum searched, but I haven't received any reports yet. And what about you? Don't you have any ideas? Only one. I knew it. Nobody but me would be able to find it. Wait, what? You have an idea where it is? Indeed. Then tell me. It may have been in this teapot Miss Hall had used. Oh, this teapot is pretty nice. It would make the perfect present for the best prosecutor. It's not a present, it's an important piece of evidence. Oh, it's just evidence. Then I guess I'll have forensics take a look at it. Monsieur Edgeworth, is there something wrong with the teapot I used? This teapot has a minty aroma to it. It's the same aroma as one of the two chemicals used to create the poison gas. Monsieur Edgeworth, surely you don't mean... You suspect me of having set off the poison gas? I do. Setting up the poison gas trap in the Autumn Palace would have required some preparation. As the curator of this museum, you're the only one who could have prepared it in advance. I wonder about that. Preparations for the opening of the museum took about a week, and I received help from both outsiders and Madame Delicia. I think there are people besides me who are also suspicious. Of course, Delicia is also under scrutiny. Furthermore, I don't even know how to create something like poison gas. Even if you found normalium in my teapot, there's no way I could have prepared the poison gas. Well then, I look forward to hearing the analysis results of the teapot. Her excuse is that she doesn't know how to prepare the poison gas. I must find a way to shatter that excuse. Hello? This is Edgeworth. Scumshoe, sir! Did something happen? Actually, right now, all the investigators but me have left the Winter Palace. So I can finally tell you what we found. It's not good for a detective to be leaking out information about the investigation, but his resourcefulness has saved me many times these past few days. All the sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. There's still some liquid left in the cases, but there's less in the Gemini case than in the Taurus case. There's still liquid in the glass cases? Yes, sir. We just investigated the light blue liquid a moment ago. We only detected sugar in the Taurus case, but for some reason, in the Gemini case, we detected 3 different substances. 3 substances? They consist of sugar, salt, and blood. Blood? Blood and salt were detected in the Gemini case. I wonder whose blood it could have been. Dover's? I asked forensics to look into it, sir. Right, I leave it to you, Detective. That reminds me. The forensics investigation of the fountain patio contacted me. It seems the sugar found in the fountain matches that found in the light blue liquid. Oh? That sounds like valuable information. Is that all the new information you have for me? Ah, now that you mention it, we found a rainbow light device there, too. The device was used to disguise the Autumn Palace. It seems the device that was used in the IS-7 incident is also connected to this one. I should listen to what Delicia has to say about that. I have to go back to investigating now, sir. When we get the results of the blood test, I'll let you know right away. Yes, thank you, Detective. Was that Gummy calling? That sure was a long call. Thanks to him, we now have an important piece of information. In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the IS-7 incident. I don't know. I hate to say it, but Kate's looking pretty sus right now. Is it true you keep 2 service cards on the premises? Yes. Is there something wrong? Earlier, I was looking at one of the sketches from that so-called artist, and I noticed he had drawn the card's tablecloth light blue. Light blue? Are you sure you weren't mistaken, Monsieur? I only ever use tablecloths that are pure white. That's true, the tablecloth here doesn't have a single spot on it. Yes, that's because I always change them immediately whenever they get dirty. Did Larry really get the color wrong, then? What were you doing when the sketch was drawn? At that time, I was just doing my job as usual. Then, can you tell me exactly what that work entails? What were you doing when you were drawing the sketch? From the looks of the drawing, there doesn't seem like you were transporting the tea set. Yeah, again, I see those candies on it. The chocolates. This was when I was delivering chocolates to all the people in the investigation. Ah, how nice. Chocolates. I wish I could have gotten some too. There's still a few left, so please eat these then. I made them myself, though it's possible they may not suit your taste. Woohoo! Thank you so much! Thank you. Perhaps it's because she had them in her pocket, but it looks like they melted a bit. They were also said to have been misshapen. sweet goodness. I'm happy to hear you say that. These chocolates are a little misshapen, but I'm glad to get some sugar into my system. I know that's going to be important, but we'll have to see in what way. Although they're a little too sweet for my taste. Again, Greg said the same thing. We haven't uncovered that yet. Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation?
Yesy, of course. Anything from Miley and Kayfabe. I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
Wait, what was... That voice sounded completely...
Anything from Miley and Kayfabe. I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley.
Stop calling me Kayfabe. Fine, that's out of the question. Can't just change a name I've already decided on.
Ugh. Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? Specifically, the fluorescent cloths and a special device called a rainbow light device?
Yesy, of course I do. Because they're presents that I gave to Katie. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago. I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and the 4 fluorescent cloths I used in the contest.
Wow, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and 4 rock salt lamps?
Haha, seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are.
That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I like them too, you know.
Fine, that was back when Ray Ray was still a cute little boy. Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy? I can't even imagine it.
Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago? Probably. The rock salt lamp, the cloth, and the rainbow light device. They all seem the same. 4 fluorescent cloths were used in the Autumn Palace. But I have the feeling I saw one more of the same cloth.
It's true. Look, I got the proof right here in my bag.
What's she searching for? Oh, right, she had one in her... Yeah. I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Let's show Delicia and have her confirm my suspicions. Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looks similar to this?
Fine, I'm not going to give you any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag.
Then would it be better if I called it a washcloth?
Fine, wrong again. It's a fluorescent cloth. Oopsie, that was supposed to be a secret.
Please tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth. Please tell me the reason why you hid this cloth.
Oh, guess I have no choice, since the cat's out of the bag. I found this cloth floating in the fountain. And right after that, I was called to the Autumn Palace.
So that's the moment Larry captured in his so-called sketch of beauties. Ah, yeah, I saw her fishing that out of the fountain then.
At first I thought one of the fluorescent cloths I'd given Katie had washed away.
But didn't you only give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present to this museum?
There were 4 fluorescent cloths covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realized this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. Is that the same blue cloth that was actually covering the service cart in that sketch? Poison gas broke out because someone had stolen my Megatoxin X. So, I thought the fluorescent cloth had also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone. I see. But I sure feel a lot better after talking about it. Stress isn't good for your figure, after all. 18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing. Who would have thought it would turn up in the fountain along with the body? Poison gas? I'd like to ask you something, since you're a pharmacist. Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas? Oh, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. It even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with normalium. I see, so... Then, is there another way for someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information? Well... It might be possible if they've seen the Angel's recipe. The recipe book that was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago. Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin X. Oh... Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the Angel's recipe? Yesy, that's a given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes the Cold Killer X medicine. Cold Killer X. The cold medicine that promises to kill colds good. After Jeffy got declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been able to see it, though. So this woman is also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists. I think... Does Ray have anything? Oh, is that the cart? Is that the cart that, that Larry saw Katie take out? Miles, how's the investigation going? Well, little by little, I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind this case. Oh, that's good to hear. Uncle Ray better not fall behind either. This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago. I agree. The melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago. I wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time. The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. His son and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. After the case, they both went missing. Missing? What? And they haven't been found yet? I haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. But as for Mr. Dover's son, he was found, and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. That way, they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report had also been forged, so nobody but the defense ever found out. Von Karma. You would go that far. Mr. Shields, can you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is? Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie? No. Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is, Kate I know is a truly admirable woman. For 18 years, she's always wanted to remain here and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives. What? She was driven out of the mansion? That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though. Why'd she retire? Because she already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. It seems she even got back the Angel's recipe that had been taken by the Master Group. So she did have possession of the book then. This mansion, where she lived with Mr. Master, had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost. It seems Mr. Shields sympathizes with Miss Hall. But you could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had. Yeah, let me take a look at this. At this car. There we go. This lift trolley has just been left here. I wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy. The surface of the platform appears to be wet. I remember seeing this lift trolley someplace before. You mean during the IS-7 incident? Ah, that's right, I remember now. It was in Dover's room. Oh yeah, I see it there. If I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures. The lift trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person could move the sculptures all by themselves. Wow, how convenient. I want one too. Why is there a lift trolley here? Guess that's something we need to think about. Yes, could be related to the case. The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's recipe. And the current owner of the Angel's recipe is Miss Hall. So that means... Indeed. It means it is possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are. Now all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot. Oh man. Okay, I think... This has been quite a ride, but
There's still a bit to go. Hate to say it, but Kate is hella sus right now, but I think for right now, I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow night, I think we should be able to finish this off. One sec. Alright, so oops. Alright, everyone, have a good night then, and I should see you tomorrow as we finish this off. See y'all later.